Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. Right now, we're going to talk about Frederick Nwajiagu, who has been in detention by the Lagos state government over alleged terrorism and the need for Ohanese. Right now, I think there's a vacuum in Ohanese leadership, but there is a need for Ohanese to do something fast about Frederick Nwajiagu, who has been in detention by the Lagos state government over alleged terrorism. That is what we're going to talk about in this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, Frederick Nwajiagu appears to have been forgotten by even Igbo, by Ohanese, because that Frederick Nwajiagu is an Igbo problem that needs to be addressed, because he embodies the injustice that the Igbos feel in Nigeria that had to be addressed. And that if Nigeria does not want a united nation, you don't want one Nigeria. I have done a video before where I said that the Igbos could be separated from Nigeria peacefully, like in 1965, when Singapore separated from Malaysia. I use it as a model. I believe in one Nigeria. I believe in the economy of scale. I believe that if India can succeed with its multi-religious and multi-ethnic groups, and today is one of the biggest economies in the world, if China could be able to be so successful with over 1.6 billion, several ethnic groups, religion, and what have you, and China will soon take over United States as the biggest economy in the world. If all these giant nations can be able to build a united nation, I believe that Nigeria can be a success story. That's my thinking. Why did I say this? Imagine you are a business person. You have potential buyers from 250 million people. You don't need to go past through any tariff, don't need to do any other thing. Whatever you are producing, whatever your heart leads you in Nigeria, you can make a hell of money within this country. The way it is. Nigeria is a blessing by its population. So Nigeria could be a success story like India. Nigeria could be a success story like China. I believe in the economy of scale. I believe in Nigeria as it is big. But if Nigeria cannot work, there is no need hating one another. Nigeria can separate the people of Southeast from the rest of the country. And they will do it the way Malaysia did it with Singapore. Malaysia and Singapore, they were one country. In August 1965, the Malaysia Parliament passed a vote. The Malaysia Parliament at that time was like the National Assembly of Nigeria. So all you have to do is all the National Assembly members representing all the people of Nigeria. You don't need any constitutional decision. They will raise a motion at the National Assembly and say southeast of Nigeria and whichever part, whether in the south that want to join it, that they are free to separate from Nigeria. That was what was done in Malaysia in August 1965. Go and read the Lee Kuan Yew's book. The book where he talk about how he took Singapore from third world to first world. That was it. And when Singapore separated, Lee Kuan Yew and co, they were crying. Because, and the people of Malaysia, what was the issue? It's so important to put it in context. Malaysia was predominantly Muslim. The Singaporeans were predominantly non-Muslim. There were Chinese, there were other ethnicities. Yet there was always conflict in Malaysia. And the Muslims felt, look, we can't continue to share the same country. Perhaps there are many Muslims in Nigeria today who feel they don't want to share the same country with people of Southeast region. And they have the numbers in the National Assembly. They can do what their brothers in Malaysia did. And raise a motion in the National Assembly. And said the Southeast Nigeria should extricate itself from Nigerian nation. And that was what happened in Malaysia. And Malaysia, they passed a motion at the parliament. Even Lim Kuan Yew said they were not prepared for it. They never expected that things like that would happen. But it happened. And Malaysia did it because there was always tension with the Chinese, with the other minorities, Christians, and what have you. And the Muslims felt that, look, they should be allowed to have their way all the time. At the end of the day, they passed that motion. Singapore was declared a separate nation from Malaysia. And today, Singapore is doing well. Malaysia is doing well. In fact, Singapore is even doing better than Malaysia. And it's now a win-win situation. I've always suggested it. If you don't like the Igbos in Nigeria, that is what I've heard some foolish people say that Igbos should pack from Lagos if they want to. That's not how it's done. A nation is not just made like that. What you do, follow the due process. You can do what the Malaysian parliament did in 1965 and told Singapore that we don't want you to be part of our country. Go. Now, that's by the way. Now, this brings me to the issue of Frederick Nwajiagu. Now, Frederick Nwajiagu, his matter was brought to the fore recently when I saw a report by Sahara Reporters when human rights activist Okechukwu Nwangoma called on Ohaneze and Igbo to take immediate action regarding the continued detention of Frederick Nwajiagu over alleged terrorism. Now, Sahara Reporters in May 2023 reported that Nwajiagu was arraigned before Justice Yetunde Adesanya of the Lagos State High Court. He was arraigned by the Lagos State Ministry of Justice on 9 counts. Nwajiagu was arrested on April 1, 2023, following a viral video in which he allegedly threatened to invite members of the Indigenous People of Biafra to Lagos to secure the properties of Igbo people living in the state. He was accused of attempt to do acts of terrorism, participation in terrorism, meeting to support a prescribed entity, and attempt to finance an act of terrorism and preparation to commit an act of terrorism preferred against him by the Lagos State government. I hope I will remember at the end of this video, I will put the link of that his viral video. I will put that viral video at the end of this video so that you can watch the reason why they claim that the reason why the Lagos State government is charging him for terrorism. Now, what was the context? This Nwajiagu is a prominent businessman and is even one of those people that promote Igbo culture in Lagos State as Igbo or whatever in one of the estates in Lagos. Now, you know what happened between March and April 2023. Igbos were being hunted in Lagos. They were being chased around, beaten, some say were even killed. Because of what? Over the governorship election in Lagos State. So their properties were being threatened. They cannot sleep with their 2 eyes open. They were told not to come out unless they are ready to vote for APC. What was their offense? Their offense was that they are supporting the governorship candidate of Labour Party, who is also an indigenous of Lagos State. So they pick offense with Igbos or anybody that looks like Igbos. So Igbos were threatened. Igbos were harassed. Igbos were intimidated. Everybody saw, it was shown on several viral videos of how Igbos were beaten up during that election, before the election, even after the election. At that time, President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu was in Lagos, but he didn't say anything. The police and everybody else saw what happened, how MCO, Lomo, and everybody else were on video threatening Igbos, harassing them. Igbos are being beaten up. Nothing was done by the state to protect them. So this Nwajiagu, out of frustration, of course, made a video. Okay? Made a video. I have always said it. If you want to make a video and you want to speak to your people, it's better you speak it in your language. But he made a speech where he was mixing English and Igbo. Okay? And that's... Now, if it was an Hausa leader in Lagos, he would have spoken in Hausa throughout, so that it will now be subject to interpretation. I remember when Buhari threatened that the baboons will be soaked in blood if the election was rigged. Now, he spoke in Hausa. Now, when his defenders were defending him, they were now, you have to interpret what he meant in the language. But because this man spoke in English, so they now believe that he was calling for the IPOB to come and invade Lagos. What he was saying was that clearly, he was speaking, mixing English and Igbo. But what he was saying, when you were listening to it, was that they cannot allow themselves to be killed and their properties destroyed. That what they will do, that they will invite IPOB people to come and protect their properties in Lagos. The issue is, was their properties under threat? Yes. Didn't Bayo Onanuga warn Igbos that 2023 will be the last time that they will participate or interfere? Because when he said the last time that Igbos will interfere in Lagos election, it means that they should participate in Lagos election. What Bayo Onanuga, who is the spokesperson of then President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was saying was that violence will be meted out to the Igbos if they interfere, and violence was already being meted out to them at that time. Therefore, to call for self-defense, is it a crime? If it was Yorubas that were threatened like that in Kano, would they not call for Odua people to come and help them, to defend them in Kano? Would they not call Ganiyu Adams and co? Would they not call the Yoruba nation people to come and defend them? If the police cannot defend them, the army cannot defend them, they were standing and watching what happened to them in Lagos, doing nothing. The main state actors did nothing to protect them. The man out of frustration said, okay, we will invite IPOB. Perhaps the man may not even know any IPOB person, but because he said it, that's why he has been in detention all this long. And Ohaneze is not saying anything. So it's important that that matter is brought up again. Of course, we know that Ohaneze is bereaved because Chief Emmanuel Nwajiagu died, and he has just been buried, and landed by early next year, there will be a new president. Perhaps that person will bring up this Nwajiagu's matter. And ordinarily, why should that man continue? Everybody knows that he's a businessman. He ought to have been released. If they are releasing Boko Haram militants that they said that they have rehabilitated them, they have done this and that, and they reintegrate them into the society. I don't see why somebody like Nwajiagu, who is a well-known businessman in Lagos, could not have been released by now. And what evidence are they looking for? Why don't they charge him to court so that the matter will be thrashed out in the court? Let them bring evidence that he is an IPOB member, that he had already brought people from Southeast to come and create problem in Lagos. So, but there is a need for Hanese to wade into this matter to see whether there could be any out. But ordinarily, there is no basis whatsoever for that man to continue to be in detention. He ought to be under bail and whatever. I don't see that man. That man had never, there was no evidence that he had any criminal record before. So because of his viral video, then that's why he's still in detention up to today. Just because he's an Igbo man. People have said worse things than that severally. And many of them are walking free. So to me, and I have said it, that when I saw this story, it was a reminder of how bad the Nigerian nation have been treating the Igbos. And when people talk, they say people talk about operating with siege mentality, people are a victim mentality and all that. Yes, when you have been a victim before, or a victim of genocide, you have to make it very clear. It's just like telling Jews not to complain when they know what happened to their fathers at the concentration camp under Hitler. Okay, but like I said in the beginning of this video, if Nigerian nation does not want Igbos in Nigeria, they should do what the Malaysian parliament did in 1965. National Assembly can do that. We don't even need any other referendum. National Assembly can do that and exercise Southeast from Nigeria. But as long as they didn't do that, Igbos must continue to get their rights and privileges like every other Nigerian in this nation. Like I said earlier on, I believe in Nigeria. I believe in one Nigeria. I believe that economy of scale, looking at the economy of scale, it is good to belong to a country as big as Nigeria for economic reasons, at least, if not for nothing else. That is how China has scaled up its 1.6 billion people to emerge potentially now the biggest economy in the world. Very soon they're going to take over from United States. India also scaling its 1.3 billion population is doing marvelously well in India and around the world. We can replicate it in Africa and Nigeria. But if we cannot, why not look at the 1965 example of Malaysia, where the parliament, in a resolution, to Singapore to leave the federation. And that has brought peace and prosperity to both nations. Even Singapore, that thought is going to be disadvantaged because it doesn't have resources. If you look at their economy's balance sheet today, Singapore is better than Malaysia. I don't know what you think about my position on this matter that I talked about this man that had been in detention just because he called for self-defense when federal government of Nigeria or the state institution failed Igbos in Lagos. What do you think about that? What is your position on this? Let's hear from you at the comment section. And what do you think about my proposition that if Nigeria does not want Igbos in Nigeria, that they should do what the Malaysians did in 1965 and told the Singaporeans to leave the federation? Do you think that's a very good option that the National Assembly should also consider in a nation like Nigeria, where it appears that Igbophobia has gone haywire, as Obasanjo, former president of Nigeria, has also noticed? Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And I will put don't forget, I will put the video of Nwajiagu at the end of this video so that you listen to him and see why that man deserves to continue to be in detention by the Lagos State government. Thank you for watching this video.
Jobs. None of IPOBs have not, they have no jobs. Those IPOBs, we all of them, we protect all our shops and we have to pay them. We have to mobilize for that. We have to do that. We must have our own security so that they will stop attacking us in the midnight, in the morning, in the afternoon. They will stop attacking us in emergency.